So what was the biggest step that you took to get out of the corporate rat race and start your own online business?
Yeah, good question. I think the thing with it is when you're starting your own online business, there's so much, or people think that there's so much to it at the start, and we kind of get hung up on this this notion and this idea that like we can't do it, we don't have the skills, we don't have the knowledge, I'm too old, and all this kind of thing. And it's like we'll often create our own limitations in our mind, right? We'll decide that we almost can't do something, or we can't even see that it's possible before we even start. And I think for me, the biggest thing was realizing that I was stuck in a job that was unfulfilling. I was working in software sales. I was earning good money. I mean, I got to sort of near six figures in income, but it wasn't really fulfilling me. Like, it wasn't sort of giving me any kind of purpose or happiness in life. And there was things that I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to travel. I wanted to spend time with my family and my friends, and doing things that we're meant to be doing in life, you know, enjoying life instead of sitting behind a desk and, you know, just giving up all our time for money. And when I had this realization, it was kind of like, it was almost a turning point for me, where I figured that if I could find a way to break out, if I could find a way to change and basically alter the direction that I was going in, it was going to enable me to create something so much more, something that kind of meant more to me than just, as I say, giving up my time for money working for someone else. And it was in that moment I was watching videos of Tony Robbins on YouTube for a bit of motivation and inspiration, right? And a video popped up from a couple called Gerard and Marilee. So they're two, it's a couple in Australia, and they basically talked about how they created an online business, how they had basically built a company that they can run from their laptop from anywhere in the world, as long as they've got the laptop and internet connection. That's all they need to run their business. And I was looking at this video and I was thinking, wow, this is exactly the thing that I'd always, you know, dreamed of having, but I didn't even know it existed. And in that moment, they offered me a 7-day video series that showed me how all of this was possible, right? So how they'd done it, how they started from scratch with no experience, no previous knowledge of this industry at all, built a company that was now allowing them to do all the things they wanted to do in life. And I clicked through to their website. I watched their video series, which was free. And I'm so glad that I did, because that video series, it changed my entire perception of what I thought was possible. Kind of like it put me on a new direction in life. And as I made that change, it's what I was talking about at the start. It kind of made me realize that I can get out my own way. Like, I don't have to, you know, work this job that society has told me that I have to work, because I think a lot of the time we're sort of brainwashed by society that that's the only way to do it. You've got to, you know, go to school and get good grades and get a good job and work your way up the corporate ladder, and then eventually, if we work hard enough, we might retire with enough of a nest egg to, you know, retire and live comfortably, but, you know, not really doing what we want to be doing. I didn't want to wait that long. I didn't want to leave it till that point. This video series that they offer me, it's shot by two of my personal mentors, Stuart Ross and Jay Kublasek. And I'm now at a point in my journey where I want to offer this same video series back to others for free. Like, I want to, you know, put them on this, or give them the same opportunity that I got. You know, the video series that showed me the foundations of how it was all possible. And so I'm basically allowing people to, as I say, have access to it. I've you know, got a link on my website. I give people, all they've got to do is enter their email address to receive the video series. And off the back of that, if it's for them, fantastic, you know, they can watch it, the steps to take after that, and it's all explained clearly. If it's not for them, no harm done, you know, it's free. So the thing I'd say is there's no harm in checking it out. And really, once you watch that, and once you can see, you know, this whole new world that's available to us all, for people that decide to take that step and make that transition, it's the mindset shift. It's that realizing the alternative path is out there, and then taking action towards doing it. Once you can do that and you can make that shift and take that first step, because it's all about the first step. Once you take the first step, you consistently take action, you can change your reality quite quickly, and it's amazing how quickly it can be achieved. So I'd say for me, that was the biggest step, was actually getting the awareness to realize it was possible for myself, and that all started with the video series.
If I wanted to get started, how would I do that?
Yeah, good question. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll put a video on YouTube. I'll put a video on YouTube, or maybe even this video, and I'll put a link either up there or it'll be down there. And that'll link through to my website. I'll put a link to the video series there, and then if anyone wants to look at it, they just enter their email and I'll send it to them directly.
Thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Cheers.